What's up, everybody? This is Fatal Ambitions here. I'm standing in my living room, but I got something to show you today. So let's head outside. I got the first package delivery for the Camaro. So, the first package delivery for parts for the Camaro. So we're gonna be building the Camaro into something better than it is. Don't really know what it's gonna end up at. I don't know if you can see it. Box right here, big ass box. So inside of that box, inside of the box, let's see if I can tilt the camera into it, is some seats. So I got some new racing seats in today. I already took one of them out the box. There's only one in there, so I'm gonna skip. As you can see, I'm sitting in this racing seat. We're gonna show you how to install these seats in this video. But first, I wanted to talk about the seats and what you need to do before you just go on like eBay or something and order your set of seats. For one, don't go on eBay and just order your little eBay special like $200 seats with some brackets. You'll regret it in the long run. I know that from experience. I bought a set for the Camaro that I have that we're going to be putting these in, and they are horrible. I just was trying to replace the seats in it because they were trashed, they were completely ripped up and whatever, and I just wanted something that looked alright for the moment, but they're not very comfortable. The actual overall size of them wasn't really fitting for me, and that's something I'll get into and talk about in this video, because you need to make sure that you get the right size seat for you. Otherwise the seat's sort of useless and you'll never be able to use racing harnesses and so forth. So these are the seats that I ordered that I'm sitting in right now. This is a Cypher Auto seat. They're still not super expensive, but they give you a lot better quality than the eBay specials that I was talking about. Plus you can go on their website. Every different seat that they sell, they have the measurements for the seat. So what I'm talking about, that is the width, how tall it is, the bottom's width and everything. So each piece, it gives you every measurement that you would need for that. So you would need to, for one, make sure that the seat you're ordering is going to fit your car. Most racing seats, these little areas that stick out to hold your shoulders in, are just wider than your factory seat. So don't order a seat that is too wide for your car, or you may end up not being able to close the door. So always make sure that you measure the car accordingly, so that you know when the seats arrive that it will fit the car. You also want to make sure that these holes that are behind me are even with your shoulder. You want to make sure that the belts, if you're going to run racing harnesses, will run over your shoulder and through the center of this hole. If it doesn't, and you say you got in a wreck, that could actually cause you to compress your spine, and that wouldn't be very good. Depending on what kind of racing you're trying to do, you would want to get seats that are registered, that are approved for those type races. These seats specifically are not. They are just sort of here to give me better support. I don't actually take the car out to a track or anything, so depending on what you are trying to do with your seats, you need to make sure that you think ahead and buy the correct seats, because you don't want to get up to the event and they go to do a safety inspection and you don't pass and you're not allowed to run. So let's get into the next step, and we're going to jump into the car real quick, and I'm going to show you what you need to make sure you have when you go to install these seats to just make it that much easier for you in the next step. Alright, so we're in the car. I've already took out my seats because, like I told you before, I bought them eBay specials, which are no longer with us. But if you have the factory seats, most cars are very simple. There's usually 4 bolts, as you can see, the studs coming out the floor. Some cars may have a wire that plugs in to the seat belt for a sensor or an airbag, depending on how new your car is. I don't have any of those problems on this car because it's an older model. As you can see, the floor is real dirty. So if you care about your carpet, right now, before putting the seats in, is the best time to clean the car out, because nothing's in the way and it'll just be super simple to get it cleaned up and ready to go. The next thing that you'll need is a bracket mount. This is actually the mount for the driver's side, but it'll serve the purpose of what I'm trying to show. These mounts are specifically made for your car. So the holes are here, and some of them might have legs or so forth, depending. The passenger side one actually has legs for this weird bendy area in the floor that goes way down. But they would just go on and then fit in the stock holes, and you would bolt them on like that, and it gives you the brackets to hook to the sliders or directly to the racing seats if that's what you plan on doing. If you don't need them to slide forward or backwards, it depends on, you know, how much of a daily driver your vehicle is. Some people have made their factory seat brackets somehow work with the racing seats. I have seen that on YouTube. That is not something I'm planning on doing because it's just a bigger hassle attempting to modify those to fit the racing seats when you can pick these up on eBay for like $70 depending on your car. Some cars may not have brackets made. It really just depends on the demand on how many people actually put racing seats in that model car that you own. So if that is the case, you may need to modify the brackets that are attached to the bottom of your factory seat. But in this case, I'm going to show you how we mount up to this, and I'm using sliders on the bottom of my seats, and how easy it is to just bolt this right in. Alright, so let's jump back out to my season room, and I'll show you how we attach this onto the seat. Alright, so if you're using sliders, that's what you want to install first. On the bottom of the seats, there should be 4 holes. There'll be one here, one at each end. I've already bolted these down just so I could show you what we were doing. These seats were already pre-cut to show you the holes. When I done the eBay special seats, you actually had to try to find them through the fabric or vinyl type deal, depending on which ones you get. So that is a little bit hard, but these ones, like I said, were already pre-cut. These came with the sliders. Some people run them, some people don't. If you want sliders, just make sure whatever seats you order comes with sliders. In here is a bolt kit, so it comes with an Allen head and a little spacer. So you want to make sure you put the spacer below the slider, and then you'll just run the Allen head through the spacer and the slider into the seat. Make sure you space that correctly. Most of them, if you do not, they won't bolt because the slider mechanism or latches on the other slide will not clear the seat. Alright, so the next part is to bolt the bracket onto this. So let me get that done, and then I'll show you how we do that. Alright, so I got the bracket on. Personally, this is how I do it, and like I said, your kit may be different. I have spacers with a nut here because I put the bolt through here, tighten it down to this, so then I could put the spacer, put the bracket on, and then put a nut on top, because I need very little bit sticking out here because of my bracket being relatively flat. I gotta make sure I have enough room. I can't have big bolts sticking out, otherwise it'll hit the floor and I won't be able to bolt it down. Plus, I like this little extra bit to raise the seat a little bit because my seat belt likes to ride my neck as it is right now. Later, when I put the racing harnesses, might not matter. That is my preference. If your seat sits too high, don't use so many spacers, but that's just what I like to do. So that is the brackets and sliders and everything put together. So let's go get this put in the car. Alright, so after you get that bracket together that I just showed you, you want to just sit your seat like this in the car. And like I said, if you're using these brackets, they should just line right up like that. And then just all you need to do is screw down your nuts. You can't really see it. You can kind of see it, the one on the back. Sometimes the back ones are really hard to get to, but usually you can do the front and slide the seat forward. And then your seats will be installed. So I'm going to finish this one up, get the other one in, and then I'll show you a finished product. Alright, so both seats are in, and they look fantastic. They just really tie into the factory interior. So this is, the first step to this project, and for right now it's sitting in the garage, but we're going to be getting it ready for this summer. So like I said, first step, stay tuned for more. I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff to this car, so Pay attention, subscribe, and like the video so I know that you enjoy it. And as always, have a nice day. Peace.